Hi everyone, so today I want to share with you what I am growing for roses in my garden. And I have a nice variety in here, but still not that many. I need to expand and add more that are hardy for my zone. So my zone is a zone 3B. I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada. And the roses I grow can range anywhere from a zone 2 to a 5 or 6. But the larger roses that I grow are particularly suited to zone 2 or 3. And they range anything from a Rugosa rose to an Explorer to a Campfire rose. So I'm going to share with you what I have and go through them. And then I'm going to show you an update on the miniature rose garden. So the first rose I want to talk to you about is Oscar Peterson. I planted him last year in another video, and he seems quite happy in this shade portion of the garden. Now this garden is now getting some sun. As you can see, it's quite bright. So I'm going to try to get in close so I can show you what he really looks like up close. I call him a he because his name is technically Oscar, but who knows, right? It's a rose. And this is what he looks like up close. There are a pile of buds on this rose. I'm just going to shrink this back so you can see. And I'm blocking the sun so you can get a look at it. And it is really, really pretty. It's a white, a little bit of a cream colored rose. It has lots of blooms. This one is zone 3 to 7. Very, very hardy. It's won a lot of awards. And I do not have to protect it for the winter, which is fabulous. And it's doing really well back here in this shade border, but it's a part shade border. Sometimes it seems like it's full shade, but right now it's part because it's getting west sun. And you can see it's just basking in the sunlight, super duper happy, and I am loving it. It really stands out in this bed. And I showed you in the previous video how it contrasts against the hosta in front of it. You can see the leaf there, just for comparison. And look at that sun if I don't cover it. And it's just a super nice rose. Highly recommended. Really, you know, no maintenance much at all. Feed it a little bit and just let it grow and do its thing. Here is the other Oscar Peterson. I have two in the garden. And it's got multiple blooms on it. It's a bit taller. And it's really pretty how the buds come out. You can see they almost look like a pink or a yellow. Up close you can see the hint of pink on it. Isn't that pretty? And a tinge of yellow or orange. And I really like that. So that's another thing about this rose. It's really pretty before it blooms. Over here I have an Explorer rose. It's a pink rose and I cannot remember the name. I'll have to go back and look and see if I can find it. And I've recently planted it. It was dying at a hardware store, so I tried to save its life. And it seems to be quite happy here, but it's actually a pink rose, a very, very soft, light pink. So I put it in here where it's going to get the south sun in the morning and a little bit of shade from the cedars in the evening. And there's some buds on it, so I'm looking forward to seeing it bloom again. Now this rose in particular, because it's a shrub rose, it is a zone 2, just so you know. So it is very, very hardy, and it goes zone 2 to zone 8 on it. I do recollect that. I'm just horrible with names tonight, so you'll have to forgive me. My favorite rose out of all roses in my garden, hands down, is the Chinook rose. It's a zone 3 to 7 rose. It is born and bred for Canadian gardens. I believe it was bred in Manitoba, and it is stunning. So happy with this one. I want more of these. Right now they're very hard to find. I have 4 of them in here. A couple of them are not in bloom. They were transplanted, but there are 2 that are. Check out this one. I have it paired with the blue New Dimension salvia, and I love it here. It just seems to fit well here, and the contrast between the colors is really pretty. Campfire roses, another favorite. I planted these in a previous video. They're doing really good back here. They're very happy. That's how brilliant the color is when they're open. It's very brilliant, and they are perfect in the border of a flower bed. They don't grow very tall, about 30 inches, and they are just really easy rose to grow. Very hard to find. They are hardy zone 3 to I think 8 or 9, so they're really hardy, but super hard to find in my area of the world, so which really kind of sucks because I would like some more of these. Once again, my favorite hardware store had them, so I thought that was a really huge win. I'm going to show you here what the spent flowers are starting to look like. I find the branches of this are very weak. That's the only thing on this rose, so I find they flop a lot. As you can see here, it's laying down, but overall it's very pretty, and I think it's worth having in the garden. I probably should do some staking on it, and it would have a happier life if I did do that, so that'll be next on my list now that I see the new blooms are also flopping. John Cabot climbing rose. I have 2 of them, one on each side of the gazebo. I have high hopes for them. This year they're going to sleep, and I'm hoping next year they will start creeping and start crawling up the pole of the gazebo. I will have to help them and probably put some sort of netting or wire on this and train them to go up so that they have something to cling to, because roses don't naturally always cling to a arbor or trellis or even a post. They need some assistance, so I will provide that assistance to it. I think it's well worth it. So this one over here has been blooming. This one over here has not, but they're doing okay. I need to come in and clean up the dead leaves, and I'm going to feed it with some fertilizer. This is Yukon Gold. It was also planted in a previous video. It is a yellow shrub rose. It is gorgeous. It stands up very nicely on its own, because that is a really important feature for us gardeners who don't want to have to stake everything. And it is going to bloom bright yellow flowers. And we can see from the bud what kind of coloring we're going to get. I have put it in the miniature rose garden to give some height to the bed, as well as some coral colored peonies. Now this is the miniature rose bed that you're seeing here. I haven't provided a status update on it for a long time. I've put pink wave petunias in it. I put a few of the lime green petunias, they're not wave, in here to complement the pink and the color of the roses, and also to fill the bed. I do need to go on a rose hunt and add some more roses. And I do have a couple of miniatures that are blooming, but they're all just starting to set buds and get ready to open. And they open periodically throughout the summer. It's very random, but they're constantly blooming off and on, depending on the rose. So this is a new one I added right here. This is a miniature rose of no name. I bought it because I liked the cream color of it, creamy white. I thought it was really pretty. I have other roses here. That one is a pink. It's done blooming. I need to pick off the spent bloom. I have another one over here that is a pink and white. It's doing well. I have another pink one that I just planted this year, and you can see it's got some new red growth on it. I love it when I see red growth. That means they're doing very well. and I need to pick off the spent flower. The rest of them in here are from last year. And you can see red growth on them. No buds on this one. This one has buds on it. The buds don't look that good on this one, but I'm gonna wait and see what it does. Buds on the one next to it. This little guy, it's funny, the oranges were something that was, the orange miniature roses did really well the previous year. This year they're a little small when they came back. They're cute, but they're tiny. That is really small, but it's blooming and it's cute, so I'll just keep feeding it. And we'll just walk around. I have New Dimension pink salvias in this bed as well, just to offset some of the color. And it's just on the back side of the border. This little miniature is doing extremely well, and the sun's shining on it. When I put the camera up close to it, they look so big, but they're just tiny. You can see in my fingers how small they are. So delicate. And they're fragrant, which is really nice. This one here, I believe, is more of a chartreuse green. It hasn't opened yet this year, but it's got lots of buds on it, and I can't wait. You can see some of the colors there. Another orange one, super tiny. And here's a yellow one starting to open. And this one is a pink. And this little tiny guy right here is tiny, tiny, tiny. I've been feeding him. He's hanging in there. I don't know if he'll survive, but he's tiny. Hot Paprika. I've shown this one in a previous video, but I have to show it again because it is part of the rose collection. This is a Proven Winners variety, Zone 3. It's one of the few Zone 3 roses made by Proven Winners. And it overwintered nicely. At first I thought they weren't going to come back. They looked pretty spindly and pretty brittle, but they came to life. It is almost an ultraviolet color. It's quite striking, and I can see it from way back in the garden just because the color is so bright. It's kind of cool. Have not seen them this year, but if I do, I will probably pick up a few more. They don't get very big. They're only going to get about 30 inches tall, maybe 12, 15 inches wide. Very small, perfect for the front of a border, and they stand out in the garden nicely. The color I find is very striking. This is Theresa, I think it's Bugnet. She is a Rugosa rose. She is hardy as heck, a Zone 2 up, and she is a thorny little rose. Well, she's not little, she's tall. She gets really tall, actually. She's a shrub rose rather than a Rugosa shrub rose. But look at the thorns on her. I handle her very, very carefully when I prune her and that, and I always get a thorn from her. She's nasty that way, but she puts on deep magenta flowers, and they're in clusters, as you can see here. She is worth handling, but beware. She is nasty to work with. More hot paprika roses in my front garden. I really thought these were toast. That rabbits actually got at them, but they came back. I just left them alone, and I will thank Bonnie and some of the subscribers who said give them a chance, because they were right. These roses did come back, and they came back nicely, and I think they're well worth it. So thank you for telling me to be patient and wait. They look great with the heuchras. They really bring out the heuchra colors. So I love Super Paprika. Proven Winners did a really good job with this rose. I wish they'd develop more roses for the colder climates. It would be fabulous. Behind them, I have a lime green zinnia. So I'm waiting to see how that does. It should be kind of cool. And you can see the morning glories there. I combined them with the drop more honeysuckle. Gee, I remembered that tonight. And we'll see how these come, but the leaves are getting nice and big, and it looks like they could use some water in here. And those are the rest of my Chinooks. I found 3 more last year and I added them quickly to the front garden. I was so happy to find them. They were quite expensive where I got them, but I knew they would survive, and they're full of buds, and I'm really looking forward to the show that's coming in July from all these plants and from these roses in particular. They will be amazing. So that's the end of the video. That's all I have for roses right now in the garden. It is something that I'm growing, and I think what I'm going to do with you guys is I am going to go and take you on a trip with me rose hunting for new flowers for the garden, both larger roses of various types as well as more miniature roses. And I'll take you with me on that journey. One evening we'll go and look for them, and I'll show you what's out there and options, and hopefully I'll find something that I want in my garden. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what roses you're growing in your garden.